Welcome everybody back to the F1 2021 co-op career mode with me, Dan, and my co-commentator Nick. We are of course starting season 4 today, as you can see from the 2024 year on the intro graphics, and we're starting off once again at the Chinese Grand Prix. Now it should be said that there have been a few driver moves over the end of the season. Of course, myself and Nick have both moved away from Red Bull and McLaren, and we've had some other drivers switch around, and even some come back from retirement, which we'll get onto in just a moment. Now, of course, thank you for all of the continued support on the channel. We just passed 150 subscribers. If you're not subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon, also like the video, and comment what your favourite part of the video was down below. As we move on to the starting grid for the first Grand Prix of 2024, it is Charles Leclerc and Yuki Tsunoda, a Ferrari front row lockout for the first Grand Prix, followed by Sergio Perez in the Alpine and Lando Norris, the reigning world champion, in the Red Bull. Then it's George Russell in the Red Bull, a recent move, and Daniel Ricciardo in 5th and 6th. Then it's Carlos Sainz returning for McLaren with his new teammate Guan Yu Zhou. Then it's Lance Stroll, a surprise 9th position in the Aston Martin, and Max Verstappen in the top 10. Then Valtteri Bottas and Pierre Gasly, all the same here as it was last year. Esteban Ocon and Nicholas Latifi also remain at their respective teams. Antonio Giovinazzi and Mick Schumacher place 15th and 16th. Then it's Nikita Mazepin with a move to Williams, Lewis Hamilton with a poor qualifying, and running at the back row it's Justin Freshbot and Radiant Slothz in the Haas and the Alfa Romeo.
China, it's wet.
It's a Ferrari front row lockout in the rain,
Perez
if you can
third.
see it. The Red Bulls are finally blue again. Great timing, they had a whole season in whites. Tried to get the right colour
Justin
back on them.
Freshbot. Disgraced. Picked out of the McLaren team. He's now in the Haas. He's 19th. He's 18th, 17th. He's ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
Isn't that mate?
What
He's
a
made
driver.
more overtakes in the Haas than they have in 3 whole seasons. As for some reason, Lewis Hamilton starts in, I think it was 17th or 18th to begin with. Nikita Mazepin battling away with Justin Freshbot. Radiant Slothz, of course, being fired from the Red Bull team for insubordination.
That Haas is on
Joins
the
the
wet
Alfa Romeo.
tyres, I believe. Everyone else is on the intermediates.
An alternate strategy, and one that did not pay off for Radiant Slothz at the last Chinese Grand Prix that was also in the rain, as he goes past Nikita Mazepin. Also,
Justin Freshbot here. A stupid strategy.
the wet tyre, of course, works well until it gets up to temperature, and then it spirals out of control and overheats. As Nikita Mazepin's challenging Radiant Slothz and punts him
Up
back
the
down to
inside.
last.
What a manoeuvre.
Mazepin finally in a car which he could actually compete in, but of course he's still last, at least almost last.
Justin Freshbot. 7 tenths behind Lewis Hamilton. You have to say it will be hard to keep up with Mercedes in a Haas. Lewis Hamilton looking for a move on Mick Schumacher. He's through.
Nikita
And
Mazepin's been
looking for a move on
squeezed
Justin
off the
Freshbot. He's hit Justin Freshbot.
Nikita Mazepin,
Mayhem.
disgusting driving there, hitting the Haas. Just because he used to drive there. Bad feelings and all. Unbelievable.
Justin Freshbot now behind his teammate. A massive track extend.
Come
So
down
we
there.
see Mazepin again.
Mazepin gets his knives out. Starts scraping them against metal objects. He moves to the inside. He's going to force the Haas off the track again.
Justin Freshbot loses 1 position. Will he lose another to Radiant
There's a
Slothz? Radiant Slothz
Minor
has hit him.
contact. The wet tyre not working well anymore for Justin Freshbot. And he has lost 2 positions.
Box.
He's giving up.
His favourite race engineer, Jeff, has said, let's come in, get some new tyres.
Will he look for a move? Oh, it's a late dive
It's-
on from the Haas.
He's-
Up the inside, he clips the apex.
Radiant
Radiant Slothz
Slothz.
panicked and missed the track.
Radiant Slothz drawing his own version of the Chinese Grand Prix. And
What a
as to-
move from the Haas girl as he flies into the pit lane.
Radiant Slothz, of course, has to let him through. Otherwise, there could have been a very nasty accident. And now we get to watch the whole 15 seconds or so that this Haas gets to drive down the pit lane to his garage. And he's made it. Thankfully, not putting another set of wet tyres on, although it looked like they took off intermediates from this angle.
Justin Freshpot now with it all to do, 23 seconds behind Radiant Sloths.
And
it's going to be a challenge.
Gets a little loose there.
Squirreling all over the place. And he's spun.
Gone.
He's spun. He's not kept it out of the wall. The marshals laughing.
Box.
He's going to have to come back in. This is going to make it even harder for him.
It's Brazil all over again.
This is what got him fired. The only team that would take him, the Haas team. And this is what he does on his first race.
I mean, that car
all
already
over the place.
Undrivable. And now he's
let alone in the wet.
As here he is coming in.
He trundles back into the pit lane, hits the apex.
Looked like he nearly hit the wall as well on the way in. 40 seconds back. I think it's a 1 minute 30 lap around here, maybe. Might be a 1 minute 40. So this is going to put him right down in danger of being
We're going to have to see some incredible laps from the Haas car here if he wants any chance of getting a podium.
Funnily enough, Nick, I don't know if you spotted this as well, but when they took that broken front wing off of the car, it actually repaired itself. And that was a very long...
not leaving. He does not want to go back out. He is 1 minute 11 behind Radiant Sloths. The cameraman is blind.
We can't see... Oh, he's gone again!
He's gone. That Haas proving incredibly difficult to drive for Justin Freshpot. He got to the team and found out there had been no development since the end of the first season.
That's 3 years that this car has been
This is the 2019 Haas that he is driving, and it just goes.
That car was gone before he even hit the curb.
Brilliant. Sloths now 6 seconds behind Mazepin. Disappointing when you look at Bottas in 12th, but it's to be expected. They knew this is the kind of performance they'd get when they signed Radiant Sloths.
Hopefully he will improve.
And he's spun.
I've spoken too soon. He has spun out. Although he has got one thing going for him, and that is that the intermediate tyres do colour match the livery on his car, or at least one small patch of it. So at least he's driving in style. We see
now we see Justin Freshpot being lapped. He moves out of the way of Charles Leclerc. He moves out of the way of George Russell.
And there's his title rival from last year. He gets in his way. He's blocking.
Oh, they came into the corner, and he had to get on the racing line.
He blocks Lando Norris. Oh no, he's lost the rear.
Massive moment. He's spun again. He's in everybody's way.
Sergio Perez is coming round the corner. Oh, he's in the way.
Oh, there's a massive pile up. The safety car's been deployed. Justin Freshpot has been assaulted by Sergio Perez.
The big lock.
We see the onboard here. Perez comes around the corner. He sees the Haas. He sees the yellow flags. And he just drives into him.
Didn't slow down whatsoever. Both McLarens get collected in the incident.
Box.
Radiant Sloths is coming in.
Pit. Daniel Ricciardo P17 for some reason.
Not sure why. Maybe he thinks that getting some new intermediates will help him find some speed like it did last time out in China. Although this time he doesn't have Esteban Ocon to brake check him into one of the hairpins. And amazingly, no front wing damage so far for the Alfa Romeo. And he goes off on his way. He'll rejoin last, but Justin Freshpot. Here we are, approaching the restart. Justin Freshpot in the middle of the pack, in everybody's way.
He was hoping he'd be allowed to overtake at the end of the safety car period. He is not. He is right in the middle of all the cars.
He's got everyone behind him. And this could get chaotic.
He's doing his best to get out of the way. He's off the racing line. He's hoping people start going past.
I don't think they're going to go past, Nick. It's a green flag. We're racing it. Oh, he's a yellow flag at the minute. Now it's a
There's a
green
mixture
flag.
of flags.
They're
He's off
racing
the track.
again.
You can't see him.
Radiant Slothz coming out of the final corner, chasing Daniel Ricciardo. And and he's got Justin Freshbot.
Justin Freshbot has had a massive accident. Daniel Ricciardo is out of the race. Justin Freshbot may not be alive. That was a huge crash.
I don't think Daniel Ricciardo's alive either. Unbelievable. Justin Freshbot absolutely wrecking the Mercedes.
He runs wide. He comes back onto the track. He gets a massive tank slapper. The rear of the car spins round. Everyone avoids it.
That's
Ricciardo.
They were definitely
Justin Freshbot couldn't see Daniel Ricciardo through the spray. Thought it was safe.
My God, there was definitely
He
carbon
just
fibre in
loses
the
the
crowd.
rear.
Amazingly misses everybody. And there's the impact.
Daniel Ricciardo be a huge hit into the side of the Haas car.
You don't get to
Justin
see the
Freshbot
onboard.
not looking like he will get a podium at this race, as Radiant Soft cuts the corner for some reason.
He's got 2 laps to go, and we've got an intense battle going on now. We've got
Yellow flags are waving.
Oh, it's an Alpha Tower. It's Pierre Gasly retires this time. We saw last
We've
time
had
in Australia.
4 DNFs from the first race of the season, which will mean Radiant Soft will achieve one of his best finishes in Formula 1, finishing in probably 16th.
And it actually gets better because most of the drivers in front of him have penalties as well. So all he has to do is not crash, and he could move up into 13th place.
Can he do it? He's right up the back of Nikita Mazepin.
We'll have to see what he can do. He's got just a couple of corners to go, and of course the final straight. Mick Schumacher holding these guys up as brought back from Giovinazzi. So the 3 worst teams and arguably the 3 worst drivers on the grid get to battle it out for 14th place.
Radiant Soft's now full throttle down the straight.
35
Can he get
miles an
Nikita
hour.
Mazepin?
Put to the floor in 2nd gear. There's no way he's going to get
make
there.
the move?
It's way too far back. Oh, he's tried it anyway. He's
crashed into Mazepin.
Nikita Mazepin has hit the Alfa Romeo. Unbelievable.
Radiant Soft with more dirty driving and more no-point finishes.
He comes across the line.
Track extends for good measure.
Lewis Hamilton, for some reason, was in 14th. I don't know what happened. He's now in 16th. And this is the onboard final corner. Nikita Mazepin, no doubt, turns in on him. And Radiant Soft doesn't know where he can go.
Disgusting driving. That's why he's been fired from 2 teams. And he picks up no points.
Still sporting a green helmet in a red car. Of course, colour coordinated as always. And Ferrari with their first win of, well, any of the seasons. It's only taken them 57 races to try and get a win. And Charles Leclerc has done it in the wet, beating out both of the Red Bull drivers, one being Lando Norris, the reigning world champion, the other one being George Russell, his new teammate. Of course, the pit crew that we're so used to seeing at the McLaren and the Red Bull garage also work for Ferrari, so they were celebrated today. And Charles Leclerc on the podium, and generic Ferrari staff member taking the Constructors' Trophy. Lando Norris only P3 in his opening race, disappointing the reigning world champion. But Newcastle would be proud today of Charles Leclerc, a hero for the city of Newcastle. And there we have it. Charles Leclerc picks up Ferrari's first win across the 3 seasons that we've had so far, so well done to him. He was followed by George Russell and Lando Norris, who we saw on the podium. Then it was Yuki Tsunoda and Lance Stroll, a surprise 5th place, followed by Max Verstappen, Esteban Ocon, Guan Yu Zhou, Carlos Sainz and Nicholas Latifi. Radiant Slothz is promoted to 13th place after multiple drivers ahead of him received penalties. Over in the Drivers' Championship, of course, Charles Leclerc is the man to beat at the moment on 25 points ahead of George Russell and Lando Norris. Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll, Max Verstappen, Esteban Ocon, Guan Yu Zhou, Carlos Sainz and Nicholas Latifi all following behind But over in the Constructors' Championship, it's Ferrari who lead the way out of the blocks on 37 points ahead of Red Bull. The surprise third place for Aston Martin puts them in a strong position ahead of Williams and Alpine, who are currently tied with McLaren for 5th place. Then it's AlphaTauri with the final point scoring team in 7th, followed by Haas, Alfa Romeo and Mercedes at the bottom of the table. That's all for today's race. We'll catch you in the next one.